Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at rank 1 in the world team, which is very cool to see this for the Master League as well. The leaderboards didn't really change too much recently because most players that are that high up play usually only Great League and Ultra League, so like they just try to avoid the Master League. This is here now the rank 1 in the world team right now at like 3,700 rating from a Japanese player. Put like everything on the left side anyway, most likely for you to see. Very cool that they give me the team as well, like I asked in DMs for the team. Of course, they're going to most likely run different movesets. Didn't ask for the movesets itself, but most likely the normal Ho-Oh, which is definitely better than the Shadow variant. The Shadow variant definitely is a little bit more tricky to play because you have just quite a few matchups where you really would like the extra bulk. But otherwise, the Kyogre in the back, most likely something with a Blizzard, I would guess, because also otherwise team can be a little bit tricky against Giratina Origin. So Blizzard does make the most sense here, but I'm not going to get rid of my Origin pulls. But Dialga should be a standard moveset. Draco Meteor is, in my opinion, so much better than Thunder. So please don't run Thunder on your Dialga. Like, it really rarely does make sense to run Thunder, to be fair. But here we're going to see now, the matchup against Dialga is also a little bit tricky because our Ho is Shadow. If it wasn't Shadow, it would be so much better. As the Shadow variant is just a little bit too squishy for the matchup against the Dialga, as you're going to now be able to go for one Brave Bird, gonna get the shield from the opponent, they're still going to be able to farm me down. Again, wouldn't have happened if I wasn't Shadow. So yeah, like Shadow variant can kill quite a few games, but otherwise, lost a little bit of rating in the beginning. I think I went 2-3 twice, but now I went 4-1 in my final set, which I haven't claimed yet because I want to claim it with Star Piece tomorrow when I do more sets afterwards, because I have the premium pass in there, which most likely going to put me up a little bit higher because I feel like I battled a lot of higher ranked opponents because I actually didn't lose that much what's called rating before, so I should be a little bit higher than before as well. I think I gained some ego most likely with that one after claiming the 4-1 set that I currently still have. So definitely still a very solid team. I feel like I would have won quite a few more games if I just had the normal variant of the Ho-Oh. So if you have the normal variant, try to go for that one because the Shadow variant is just a little bit too squishy. Here we're going to encounter Zacian, where is another thing where I would say that the normal variant is better because you see how close the matchup is now because of the Shadow variant. We are just not able to retake those wild charges, while they can now farm me down, which would have never happened if I wasn't the Shadow variant. So honestly, I kind of regret building the Shadow variant. It's just a little bit more fun, I guess, and I guess it's totally okay to have that one. It's a little bit better, I guess, for content maybe, don't know. But the normal variant of Ho-Oh is definitely the better one to build if you really wanted to go for that one. Let's take a look here at this matchup here. We're going to see that we're going to get the opponent pretty low. They're going to go for the Draco Meteor, as we were able to at least CMP tie with them. And now we should be able to farm them all the way down with our Kyogre. They can still go for one Iron Head here, but honestly, what is a resisted double debuffed Iron Head going to do to us? Not a lot, as you're going to see the opponent coming in now with, let's see, an Yveltal. That's going to be interesting, but the opponent going to be able to catch a charge move here, which is really annoying because if they didn't catch the charge move there, I'm pretty sure I could have been able to win this game. But like this, Origin Pulse is just sadly not enough to knock out the opponent's Yveltal here, and they're going to be able to go for their own charge move. And yeah, I should have just went for my charge move a little bit earlier, to be fair. In comes now the next game. We're going to have the Dialga against Dialga. Ours is finally best buddy. It wasn't the case before this last iteration there, so I was finally able to best buddy this one. I'm always super lazy with best buddying Pokemon, but hey, we're going to see Zacian against us as they're going to go ahead and go for the player up first. I'm going to go straight for the Origin Pulse, which would force the knockout here, and it does force a knockout. The Surf wouldn't have been enough, but the Origin Pulse is enough, and we're also going to allow us to go for another charge move here, which actually going to be pretty important as we're now going to be able to get the opponent into a range where I can nearly farm them down. Just with my Dialga alone, just farming them all the way down there. As they're going to have to go for one charge move here. They're going to go for the Iron Head. Great bait by them, as you see now the Lander is coming in. This is a less than ideal, of course, as you're going to be able to go for one Iron Head here. But honestly, this is going to be a tough one. I have to try to catch a charge move here, and this works out pretty well, I feel like. There's going to be the superpower coming through here, going to be resisted, but still, it's going to be a little bit tough against a potential Stone Edge coming my way right now. And honestly, I should most likely just go ahead and let this move go through, but I didn't. So they can still get to another charge move. You're going to be the Stone Edge here, and they're going to be able to knock me out. I can farm them down here, but I honestly have to farm on the opponent's Dialga, and I don't think that's going to work out. turns out the opponent doesn't get to another charge move. I was really surprised by this. I really thought that I would lose this game here. Don't know if they lost on purpose or if they actually didn't have the energy, but I felt like they had the energy. So that's a kind of weird play. We're going to see here the Mewtwo against us. Going to be a matchup that I really don't like. I just don't like to face up against Mewtwo, to be fair. I don't know, it's just really annoying to deal with this Pokemon. It's not really that scary usually. Like, it's, as you can see, we already got him really low. We both have the same amount of shields. We're going to even be able to win this matchup here right now, going for the Iron Head. But still, I don't know. I just don't really like this Pokemon. Just don't like to face this one. We're going to see the Dialga swapping in. Maybe I shouldn't have swapped out here into my Ho-Oh, but I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Sacred Fire here right now, before they're even going to be able to go for their own charge move, allowing me to get a no debuff against them, which is not really ideal, but I can still get to my Brave Bird in time, which is going to be very important for us, as it's going to get them low. We don't know how low it gets to get them, but it definitely got them pretty low there. And we can go ahead and go into our Kyogre here right now, trying to hopefully take a charge move here that's going to debuff them, but it's going to be the play rough, so yeah, I'm forced to go for the Origin Pulse here. Hopefully I can do this in time, and I cannot. So I'm forced to shield up the charge move, which is going to be another play rough. And I have to go for one Surf here, trying to farm them down afterwards. I don't think that's going to knock them out yet, and it does not. But we can farm them down here with my Dialga, forcing the opponent to... Basically, they had to go for the, what's it called? Draco Meteor to knock me out, so like, yeah, there was no chance really. They only started with 1 HP anyway, which was really nice for me. Mewtwo against us here, Shiny Mewtwo. We will be able to go ahead and go for another charge move here. Iron Head going to be able to get the shield from the opponent, as he can go ahead and shield up the opponent's charge move. Of course, could be a Focus Burst. Not a lot of people run Focus Burst right now, especially not on the lead, more as a safe swap to be fair. But we're going to see now the opponent going for their Shadow Ball. Very smart decision, as we're going to be able to still get to another charge move though, forcing the shield or the knockout, and you're going to force the knockout here against the opponent, as you're going to see the opponent going into their own Dialga. Not really ideal for us. We're going to have to go into our Ho-Oh, and we're going to get them pretty low already with a fast move alone, which is going to be very nice. Force to shield this move up here, as they can go ahead and go for the Draco Meteor, and they actually do exactly that, as you see the Zacian coming in now. I'm going to try to force, or basically try to keep one Brave Bird start here, and then gonna swap out into my Kyogre, but this was a huge mistake here, as I didn't expect after the debuff of my Sacred Fire that this Wild Charge would do that much damage. Holy hell, if I swapped out earlier into my Kyogre, it would have been way better off as well. But like this, I'm forced to try to go to one-hand energy, and they're still going to be able to win CMP tie against me as well. Don't know why, but I got completely swept here by the Zacian in the back, which is not really ideal for sure. Next opponent, another Mewtwo lead. Honestly, can you please stop? I don't like this one. Please don't do this against me. This is definitely not a Focus Burst, so I can let this move go through here. They went for 8, which is basically, you're always going to get to the Iron Head at like 1 turn before the opponent gets to a Focus Burst, so you can basically know if the opponent throws prior, there's no real reason for you to shield, because it cannot be the Focus Burst, but like, yeah, like this is going to be hopefully pretty okay, as you're going to see the Kyogre coming in and knocking out our Ho-Oh. So far so bad, to be fair, because he kind of got walled here. We can go ahead and go into our own Kyogre. This is not going to be a Blizzard, but it might be a Thunder, but it was actually just an Origin Pulse, which is going to be okay for us, but in comes now the Dialga, and this is going to be sadly a good game, because there's not a lot that I can do about this one. We see the Origin Pulse coming through. We can go out and go into our own Dialga, but we're gonna go ahead and actually we can knock them out. Wait, can we still win this game? I sadly died on the charge move there, but nope. The fast move of Mewtwo is going to be enough to knock us out, which is something that I haven't really seen yet, but that's kind of wild. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the next game. We're going to see Groudon in the lead. Going to be a pretty awkward for us, but we can go ahead and go into our Ho-Oh. In comes a Zacian. This is okay for us. We can deal with that one. We're going to shield up the move, because I wasn't really sure if a Wild Charge is going to knock me out immediately, and I think it would have. So we will be able to go ahead and go for our own charge move here, forcing the shield from the opponent, hopefully getting the debuff, and we're gonna get the debuff, which will allow us to survive another charge move here, which is coming in right now. It's going to be the Wild Charge again. I am forced to go for the Brave Bird here in order to knock out the opponent. They can shield this move up if they want to, and they do want to shield this move up, which is not really good for us, because it's still going to get to another charge move against our Kyogre here, which forces us to shield up the charge move from the opponent. and this is not ideal. We're going to see here now incoming the Rayquaza. I'm going to go for my charge move here because this is going to allow us now to put them into surf range, which is really important. As you're going to see now, the Groudon coming in, they can knock me out with one Precipice Blade. There's no shield available for either side, and we can still go ahead and go for a surf because we had so much energy stored. We will be able to reach this one in time, knocking out the opponent, and now we have a full health Kyogre against the Rayquaza, and you see already the waterfall alone is going to do so much damage against the Rayquaza that they have nothing that they can redo about this one here. This is going to be a win for us. There is nothing they can do, and we will be able to knock out the opponent here. Next game, we're going to see Dialga against a Shadow Mamoswine. I'm going to swap out here because you see in the back I have two very decent answers. We see the Ho-Oh coming in from the opponent, allowing us to go for one Brave Bird first and allowing us to sneak one extra fast move in now, which is very important for us because now we are going to of course have the advantage of one fast move. In comes Sacred Fire. They don't get the debuff, which is really important, by the way. If they get the debuff, this matchup completely flips. Like this, we can still go ahead and go for a Brave Bird. Still not knocking them out. Still, they can go for their own Brave Bird here if they want to, and they can do that here. But I'm going to be able to farm them all the way down, and I have a ton of energy. In comes here right now the Lugia, allowing us to go for one Sacred Fire against them here. Going to be okay for us, and we can align hopefully our Pokemon later, as they can go ahead and farm us all the way down. We will be able to switch into our Dialga. They're going to swap out eventually into a Mamoswine, and I predict this one as well, and swap out in time. Going to be able to farm them all the way down here, as they're going to go ahead and go for one charge move, high horsepower coming through. I will be able to still farm them all the way down, and now the Kyogre is just running loose here, so we're going to be able to go ahead, go for one surf against the Lugia, gonna get the final shield of the opponent, and of course you see already, our Dialga is really healthy still, so like there's nothing the opponent can do here. We even get them low enough that we can just farm them all the way down, which we're going to try to do here. My opponent decides, okay, I'm just going to throw another charge move here, Aeroblast, totally going to knock you out. No, it's not. So it's going to be a pretty easy game here to win. Let's take a look at the next game. It's going to be the Mamoswine in the lead here. Second to last game. We're going to do exactly the same as we did before. Actually, like to play against a Shadow Mamoswine a little bit more than against a normal variant. I feel like the Shadow variant is a little bit worse than the normal Mamoswine because the extra bulk is pretty decent there. We're going to see the Reshiram coming in here, which is not really ideal for us. We can go ahead and go for one Brave Bird, but they're going to be able to get to the next charge move in time here, allowing us to let this move go through. We can still farm them down here with our Dialga. In comes now most likely the Mamoswine, but they're waiting out the switch clock, which is really nice for me because now, never mind, they're gonna go ahead and go into a Dialga. I am totally wrong with that one. I can go ahead and go for an Iron Head at least, forcing most likely a shield from the opponent because they don't really want to get hit by a Draco Meteor, I would guess. And I can let this move go through, banking that my Kyogre are going to be able to win me this game here. It's going to be a tough one, but I feel like I can just farm down the opponent here. Like, honestly, like there's not a lot that the opponent can do here. Iron Head coming through, I can shield this move up. In comes the Mamoswine. We can go ahead, go for another charge move here. It's going to definitely have to shield this move up. They have to go for one high horsepower. It didn't work out for them. And this next surf is going to be able to knock out the opponent's Mamoswine, winning us this game here. And moving on into the final game of today's video. Let's take a look at the final game here as well. As you see here that I'm going to be able to go to the next there, and you see I won 2 out of 3 there. Totally okay still. We're going to be able to go into the Rayquaza. Rayquaza going to be fine for us. You see now the Lugia coming in. Not really ideal for us here, but we can go ahead and go for one Iron Head. And honestly, it makes no sense what I already did here. They're also not even going to shield this one. I kind of have to let this move go through as well because the Rayquaza, we still have to keep our Dialga alive in the lead. At least you're going to be able to just barely farm them down in time, allowing us also to get to one surf against the opponent's Rayquaza. And going to at least get some damage against them and realign our Pokemon perfectly. So we have the Dialga aligned against the Rayquaza. Still, we have basically similar HP to be fair. So it's going to be an interesting one. We're going to see a Groudon coming in, allowing me to go for an Iron Head here, trying to get the shield from the opponent. Most likely that's going to exactly happen here as well. And I can swap out now into my Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh does a ton of damage with Incinerate already, which is nice. I can let this move go through. It's going to be a Precipice Blade, and I see I can survive another one as well. So there's no real reason for me to shield this move up. If I shield here, I only can lose really, to be fair. I can now go ahead and go for the Sacred Fire. They can shield if they want to, and they do shield this move up, which is also fine for me. Because at this point of time, I don't really care too much about my Ho-Oh. I don't really have to care about this one. I can still shield this move up and can go straight for the Brave Bird as they go into the Rayquaza, making this game even easier for me as I can just knock out the biggest threat here, and we will be able to win this game against this Groudon as well. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. A rank 1 in the world team. Thanks for letting me know this team here as well. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.